been tasked with sharing. Do I have to be back here? I have been tasked with sharing my Morehead-Cain lifelong experience, as well as a few things I've learned along the way. Oh, okay.
Let me do it for you.
Sure. I'll just point your way, David.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Things I have learned along the way. Now, I heard earlier today that you all got a chance to hear a little bit about our summer experiences in the gap year. Let me get a Tar Heel if that did something for you. Let me get a Tar Heel if it made your heart beat a little bit faster. Yes, and that is definitely one of the most transformative experiences I had while I was here. So my first summer, yeah. So my first summer I spent Outward Bound program, white water rafting, canyon exploring, and mountaineering in Colorado, Utah. My second summer, I was a teacher at an inner city school program in Cincinnati, Ohio. My third summer, I worked as an intern at a big-time PR firm in Manhattan. Do not worry, I was not on the Crown Royal campaign. And my final summer, I studied dance in South Africa. Now, this is actually taken from the brochure of the Moving into Dance program that I was in. I just knew I wanted to go somewhere in the continent of Africa, and I knew I wanted to dance. Let me show you what I looked like. Get ready. I love to dance, but I just do it in my room. I did not realize that I was signing up for an elite program with real dancers. So needless to say that idea did not last very long. However, I still took advantage of that entire summer. And instead of embarrassing myself at the dance company, I traveled all throughout Southern Africa, up South Africa, through Mozambique, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and back. I had an open vehicle safari experience. I went on a safari on the boat. I microlighted over the Victoria Falls Bridge, and I even bungee jumped off of it. So it was okay that I was a bad dancer and that I wasn't part of the cool club. It still was a super transformative part of my life, not just my 4 years here or my 4 years part of the Morehead-Cain program, because I'm talking about my lifelong experience. So after leaving Carolina, I actually went to be a consultant at Ernst & Young in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm gonna push pause right there. How many of you, can I get a Tar Heel, know what you wanna major in? Tar Heel? Okay, and how many of you out there, you don't quite know yet, you just wanna figure out some things in life? Can I get a Tar Heel? Yes, say that proud, because that was me. That was me, Coulter, that was me. And my Morehead-Cain advisor gave me the best advice that I would love to pass along. And that was, follow your passion. Do what you love. Whatever job you go to, they're gonna look at your grades. And of course, if you love it, you're gonna do well in those areas. They're gonna look at your extracurricular activities, your leadership skills, your communication skills. And you all are in this room, so I know you've got that packed. And whatever you do afterward, they'll just teach you. And that is exactly what happened to me. I became a data warehouse consultant for Ernst & Young, and that's what they taught me. Who knows, Can I get a Tar Heel for those who know what a data warehouse is? Tar Heel. Okay, I did not say Tar Heel. Clearly, I probably still can't say Tar Heel. They did end up teaching me, and what I learned was that was not my calling. Not even close to my calling. So what I did was go back to that advice from my advisor at the time. It was Forrest. And if he said, follow your passion and the rest will fall in place, let's do that. So my passion and my major at Carolina ended up being performance studies. So I said, let me go back to that. And I told two folks. I told the woman who hired me, the gentleman who hired me, and the woman who was assigned to be my counselor at Ernst & Young. The woman who was assigned to be my counselor, I said, I'm unhappy. This isn't quite my cup of tea. I've always had a passion to act, and I want to quit and move to Los Angeles. Do you know what she told me? She said, I think that's a wonderful idea. Don't quit. I will put in the transfer papers for you to work in our Los Angeles office. The gentleman who hired me, I said, you know what, I gave it my all, but this data warehouse stuff is for the birds. It's not for this bird. This bird wants to fly to LA and live her dreams. He said, you know what? I think that's a great idea. Let me give you two of my contacts who ended up being writers, one for the Jamie Foxx show, one for the Parkers. This is both before you all probably were living. But either way, they put me on that show to be a union extra, which is a huge feat for an actor. So I'm going to push pause again to say, if you've got something on your heart, if something's beating inside you, some people say, don't share your dreams with anyone. I say no. I say share them, because you never know what's going to work out there, who's going to hear you to help you along the way. It becomes a joy to be able to help, to be able to serve. So let it out. So here I am, the year 2000, and I moved to Los Angeles, California, with dreams and faith and excitement. And I want to share two of my most exciting Hollywood dreams and peel back a little bit behind the curtains. So the first one is Grey's Anatomy. Can I get a Tar Heel if you're a fan of the show? Tar Heel! I love it. Well, I played social worker Janet, and social worker Janet was in the storyline with Mayor Dare, and they adopted a baby, and I interviewed her for the baby. Gave her the baby, she lied to me. I took the baby back. So just know I was in the storyline. So one exciting thing, or one nerve-wracking thing, and important thing in this whole show business, especially in front of the camera, is the audition. So when I auditioned for social worker Janet, I got in the room, and usually I anticipate it to be 15 different versions of me, like 15 brown-skinned, curly-haired girls are gonna be there. And in my mind, I'm like, I gotta be the best brown, curly girl there. Well, I walked in that room, and it was a little bit of everything, but it was everything a lot older. Everybody was my auntie in there. So I was like, they're not looking for me. I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna do my best and, let it ride. Well, it turns out that they did choose me. So now I am on set. And my first scene is interviewing Meredith to get the baby. So I'm like, okay, I got this part. I really got to be a social worker now. What are you going to do with that baby? The director yelled, cut. So the director is the gentleman there. Oh, sorry for the false alarm. Okay. I was pointing, but not quite. That's Tom Verica. If you all watch How to Get Away with Murder, he plays Annalise Keaton's husband. He's also a director, so he has directed lots of things in the Shondaland world, including Scandal, even episodes of How to Get Away with Murder. Well, he brought me aside after I gave him my social worker. And he said, Janora, what happened? We hired you for your natural warmth. Where did it go? So my biggest lesson and takeaway from that was honoring exactly who I am and who I showed myself to be in that role. And lo and behold, I went back to original Janora and ended up with 6 more episodes. Can I get a Tar Heel? Tar Heel. All right, my next biggest claim to fame was the Oscars. But I'm pushing pause on this blank slate for another lesson learned as part of this Morehead-Cain journey. Some might wonder, like, wait, Janora, you were just on Grey's Anatomy. How now are you a voiceover artist of the Oscars? Well, I had a dream in my heart, and as I pursued that dream, I didn't do it with blinders on. When you've got those blinders on and you are so focused on your goal, you miss life. Or you might miss something else that interests you that you're really good at. And that's what happened in the voiceover world. I had an opportunity, one thing led to another, and now I've got a body of work, and then I had the opportunity to audition for the Oscars. And what that audition process was, I got the call, I went and I transcribed from some backlogged voice scripts of the Oscars, and then I gave them my best, welcome to the Oscars. And it got the job. And it got the job at the most memorable Oscars ever. Okay, so now we're at the Oscars. And outside of the whole slap question, the most popular question is about the pronunciation of all of the names. So what happens with the Oscars behind the scenes is we have a few rehearsals. In one of the rehearsals, they actually hire a linguist to come work with me. And she was fascinating. It was like every language was her native tongue. And so she helped me with every person's name. I went home with a recording, I worked on it, and now it's showtime. So another thing about being the voice of the Oscars, it's not just the voice, it's not just this pronunciation, there's a technical component too. So if you look, I push my own button to go live. And when I go live in the actual theater as well as go live on television. And that's really exciting. And I know when to push the button because I've got those headphones on, and that's when the director is saying, okay, camera number 2, okay, lights up there, and then I listen for announcer go. And then at that time, I read whatever it is for me to read. I know where I am on the script because beside me, they have got a wonderful script supervisor who keeps me on track. Well, this particular script supervisor was like my fairy Oscar voiceover godmother. She had done this for 20 years, and it was such a joy to her. And she said, Janora, what an amazing job that you have. You get to announce the names of these people who have worked their entire lives for this moment. So all of a sudden, instead of, okay, am I gonna say this name right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. It became a gift that I'm able to give to someone else. So it was no pressure, it was exciting. So another lesson of taking who I am and what I give and giving it away and not making it about me, and that is when the magic happens. Can I get a Tar Heel? Tar Heel. Okay, so with that, when I was walking up and down this aisle, I had a feeling that I was around a lot of go-getters. Can I get a Tar Heel if you're a go-getter? Tar Heel. Of course you are. My challenge to you tonight is, in addition to being a go-getter, be a glow-giver. Does that make sense? You like that, right? So with that, everyone, close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And just think about yourself, your amazing, wonderful, powerful self. and think about exactly what that is that sets you apart. What is your glow? What is your hue? What is the light that only you bring to this world? Keep those eyes closed. And as you think about that, think about the ways in which you can shine. And it doesn't have to even be on a large scale. It could be shining at home with your family, in your peer groups, on the field, but the only shine that you feel is the one that comes directly from being your authentic self. Think about how you are changing that room, just lighting it up. Take another deep breath and open your eyes. Oh boy. Ooh, I had to put on some shades because, wow, you all are shining so bright. My goodness. Oh, yes. You all are glowing. In fact, with that, tell the person right next to you, I see your light. You are shining bright over there. You are a glow giver. Keep going. You are a glow giver. You are a glow giver. And I can't wait to see how you're going to light up the world. Let's shine together. One more time. Let's shine together. All right. Let's get a tar heel from that. All right. So now as we are go-getters and glow-givers to wherever we are meant to be in life, there are clearly different routes to take us there. Notice that none are super straight. You might notice that it might be a coincidence that the one we hope you take, that could be a little straighter, is the one that you choose, that is Chapel Hill. But I do know that you all are outstanding, and I really did need these because I felt your light. But one thing I would like to share that is unique to this program and to this lifelong journey is something very special that I hope you take away and hope you choose that path. So my wife and I we were honored to be guests at the White House lawn to watch the signing of the Respect for Marriage Act at the end of 22. Oh, thank you. Super honored, and both as a same-sex couple and an interracial couple, so we were double dipping that day for protection. But we live on the West Coast, and so now we're in Washington, D.C., so of course I'm gonna look up my fellow classmates that are my fellow Morehead-Cain cohorts. So one person I looked up, Alyssa Lego. This was a week before she was headed to Senegal to be their foreign peacekeeper. That's not her correct title, but just know that she is second in command. She's the second highest ranking American in the country of Senegal. That's my classmate. I also looked up my classmate, Reagan McDonald Mosley, while we were in DC. She currently is the CEO of Power to Decide. She's been featured on MSNBC. She has an NPR program, all being the voice of reproductive rights and women's health. Yes. Another shout out to Reagan. We met finalist weekend, and we were roommates our first 2 years here at Carolina. And the same trip, I also looked up Lane Dilg. She currently works for the Department of Energy in DC, And when, this is really, literally after the ceremony, she said, Janora, so happy to see you and Layla again. Do you know when this was a bill introduced to the Senate in 2011, I helped to write it. These are my classmates, and this is just 3 of them that just happen to be in DC. That is a huge part of continuing this whole Morehead-Cain journey, these connections. But wait, there is more. 5 months ago, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. I had surgery in December to remove the cancer from my body. 2 weeks before my surgery, I get a call from Rotimi Kikuyi asking me if I would like to join his family in the audience of Jeopardy. Can I get a Tar Heel if you saw his episode? Right? He had no idea that that was exactly what my soul and my mind needed at that time. A week before my surgery, I get an email from Tom Morris, Morehead-Cain class of 1974. Now that was before I was born. Tom says, "How you doing, young cousin?" And I shared with Tom what was going on. And let me tell you, you all might not know Tom, all in this room, but Tom is one amazing man. He is a philosopher, he's a best-selling author, he also is a speaker, and he's so wise. So I needed some advice from Tom. How do I put this all into context? And Tom shared with me his book, Plato's Lemonade Stand, which is so fitting. But in his book, he talks about change and challenges, and when you're confronted with them, actually making friends with them and seeing what they could teach you and what you can learn instead of fighting against them. Little did he know that that was exactly the words that I needed to hear as well. Even on Friday when I arrived to Chapel Hill, this was taken 2 days ago, this is Karina. You all met her earlier today, I believe. Can I get a Tar Heel if you met her earlier today? Yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday. Okay. She's amazing, right? She had heard of my challenges and had brought me a jade bracelet similar to the one her mother had given her for strength, courage, and good luck in times of crisis, especially related to health. And I have it on now. I say all that to say, it's truly been such a blessing to be able to have such a support. Again, 25 years past my graduation, and not just from my peers in my class. It is an intergenerational community here, and I was supported by Rotimi from the class of 2026, Karina 2024, all the way to 1974 with Tom. Being a Morehead-Cain scholar isn't just, oh, here's a database. I was going to say pamphlet, but you guys don't do pencil and paper anymore. Of all the people who have worn proudly this honor in the heart, but they are true, genuine relationships that fuel you sometimes when you sometimes when you need it most. So, I am standing before you all today, cancer-free. Thank you. This is the first time I've been on an airplane. This is the first time I've been in a crowd since my procedure in December. And I cannot think of a better first leap back into life than being with you all here tonight. The light that you all have shown is here. And I thank you, and I congratulate you, and I really hope to call you my real cousin soon. That's a long thing, but I honestly, no matter where you go or what you do, I cannot wait to see you glow this place up. Thank you.